Hey everybody, Shawn here. Today I want to talk about the difference between the Revv Generator 740 and the Revv Generator 100. Now the obvious difference is that the 100 is a 100 watt amplifier and the 740 is a 40 watt amplifier that can be switched down to 7 watts, and of course the 100 can be switched down to 10. But I'm going to be focused on running these both at their full wattage values, which is 140. Now there's obviously a volume difference between the two, but what I'd like to listen to or focus on is just the sonic differences, the feel differences between a 6v6 driven power section and a 6L6 driven power section. To me, 6L6s are bolder. Obviously, they're going to break up way later, and you'll certainly hear that when I go back and forth between these guys. 6v6s tend to sound a little bit more compressed. They're a little sweeter up top, but as you start cranking them, and they will overdrive because it's 40 watts, you'll start getting a little more of that kind of mid-bark and maybe a little more sizzle out of them. I'm going to try and keep these amps dialed somewhat similar. I'm not going to be so focused on how they're dialed as much as just giving you guys an idea of the feel and sonic differences between the two power sections. So I'm going to start with the 740. I'm going to go from the clean channel, which is the blue channel, to the green channel, which is our crunch channel, to the red channel, which is our high gain channel. And I'm going to keep them set up with the aggression mode blue on both amplifiers when we get to that red channel setting. So I'm going to start, as I mentioned, with the clean channel on the 740. So really sweet top end. You can already hear a little bit of breakup there. And that's because we're hitting the power section as well, and that is a little bit of power section breakup. And I can of course back that off so it doesn't, but I want you guys to be able to hear that. If we hit it with a back humbucker, hear that bark? So it's a little more compressed feeling, but it's really sweet. Now let me jump to the green channel and we'll listen to that. Kind of the same idea. It's a little more compressed because it's a little more overdriven. It is hitting this power section a little bit more, and there's a bark there. I would characterize it as kind of a mid, I guess a bit of a mid bark. And you can hear how that top end's got some sizzle on it, and like I said, that's very typical of a 6v6 power section. Okay, now let's jump over to the red channel, and we'll check that out. As I mentioned, I've got the blue aggression mode on, and I'll do the same on the 100 when we switch down. Now the first thing I'm noticing with this is it won't be quite as tight because it's a 6v6 power section. A 6L6, especially 100 watt, but even if it was a 6L6, say 40 watt or 50 watt power section, it would sound a bit tighter and a little bit bolder. But this feels great. Okay, let's switch down to the Revv 100, the Generator 100, and check that out. Okay, so now I've switched to the Generator 100 6L6 power section. Let's start on the clean and just check out the difference there. So right away, it's just cleaner. It has a little bit more robust top end. It's bolder sounding. It doesn't feel as compressed. It doesn't feel as forgiving. The top end is really sweet, but it doesn't break up as soon. Still pretty sweet up there. It's just not quite as glassy as the 6v6 power section in the Generator 740 was. Sounds really sweet though. Okay, let's check out the green channel. Same thing, it's certainly bolder. I'm hearing there's definitely more sub-lows there, but that's also because of the 6L6 power section. It's just going to be bolder. But there's a difference in the mids. There seems to be a bit of a low mid. The feel is tighter. Once again, it's less compressed. Okay, now let's check out the drive channel, or the red channel, the high gain channel. Now I've got it set up the same with the blue aggression mode on. Now on the top end, it does sound a bit more aggressive. I think that's definitely a 6L6 thing. Certainly tighter. It's certainly got a boldness there. So I would love to hear in your comments below what you guys heard as far as the sonic differences between these two amps. Obviously there's a volume difference, as I mentioned, but there's definitely a feel and tonal difference between 6v6 power tubes and 6L6 power tubes. And as always, I really appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'll have another video for you soon. Thanks.